I just want to say, like, oh, nice hat, by the way. The Nintendo 64 hat.
Oh, is that pretty?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, oh, I want that. I'm like, do I need that? No, but do I want it? Yes.
Because it's a podcast, so no one can see it. But it's a trucker hat, but it has the Nintendo 64 logo.
No, it's not a trucker hat. It's just a regular hat.
I thought it was a trucker hat. But still, looks cool. Where'd you get that from?
I actually got a Hot Topic.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense. But
here's the thing. Have you been in a Hot Topic in a long time?
not in a while, but I have someone who has been in a Hot Topic recently. That's actually where he got his Halloween costume.
Oh, cool. Marley's on there.
Hey, man.
Yo, Marley, what's going on?
I want to say real quick, though, before we get in the Hot Topic thing, I do want to say, I'm guessing you're going to probably cut the first 3 minutes of this out, because, like, it was just staticky as fuck. I mean, more so than the last episode.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't keep it in there anyways, because who the fuck was talking to you? Were you talking to
No,
anybody?
but I'm just saying,
I
it was just like, no, you turned on.
I was just over there like, boom, 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 turning up PlayStation up, look at me.
Well, no, but just like, you turn like, oh, 1 second, let me go take care of this. And I just hear you get up and hear like the PlayStation power down. I hear like a couple switches, like how many fucking things do you have on? You have like, I'd say like a power generator powering down too.
Well, I could have turned the Xbox off, but I just didn't want to take the time.
But yeah, so...
The Xbox is confusing, though. It's not like a PlayStation. PlayStation has, like, do you want to just full-on shut this down? Xbox is just like, you have one option. It's either you turn it off or you leave it on. Whether this choice do you want? What do you mean turn the Wi-Fi off? What are you, crazy? It's Xbox.
It's like a Rubik's Cube.
Xbox has to know everything about you, Spencer.
I know, it's just like, but Spencer, who would watch over you while you sleep if it wasn't for your trusty Xbox? What, you think Sony will take care of you? No, they never will. Never will do that. You must trust in the Xbox, Spencer. You know it's the best one. I got a feeling... Just don't listen to your friends. Everybody else says it's a piece of shit, but you're the only one that has it. Because you know better, right? Yes, you know better.
I feel like the next Xbox is going to be called HAL.
HALbox.
I want to say last episode, I just want to clarify something. I'm sure people probably get it, but there's, at some point, because it was so staticky, especially on my end, there was a point where you mentioned something about like, oh, I'm imagining having a kid with a Nintendo Switch. And I was just like, oh, fuck, Jesus. You know, like, that would be, like, I cannot imagine that, just a kid breaking it. But it sounded like I just went, oh, fuck.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, just don't make me think about kids. I'll have to snort another line of coke here. Well, it's not really coke. It's more just, I just crushed up some pills in the bathroom and mixed them all together.
Let's see what happens.
Crushed up the Nintendo Switch and just snorted it.
Yeah, I threw some Smarties in there to give it some flavor.
Got myself a pharmaceutical trail mix right here.
Yeah, got some of those fucking nasty Necco candies, like those old people candies. Smashed them up in there too. God knows what that's gonna taste like.
Necco candies? I can actually, this be like old man as fuck, but like basically those sweetheart things that are really big around Valentine's Day. Those are just Necco candies in, like, heart shape.
I guess that's sort of true. I always felt like they tasted a little bit different. Like, the Neccos don't bother me, but they do taste like, when you eat one of those, you're like, whoa, I just traveled 50 years in the past. Yeah.
Well, the only ones I don't like are just, like, the chocolate ones. Like, here's a chocolate Necco. It's like, what the fuck is this shit? Oh, it tastes kind of like chocolate, don't it? No, don't. Get the fuck away from me.
Yeah, that literally just tastes like some kind of post-war fucking bullshit, like they kind of give us for chocolate when we didn't have any chocolate. They're like, oh yeah, well, you know, we had to put the chocolate in the tanks. It was the only way to run them. So here, have a Necco. America, support it or die.
You fucking commie.
I remember around Christmas time, I would have aunts that would always like send over like these fruit cakes. Like it was like a half pound of like fruit cakes, and we hated them every single year. And I'm pretty sure we used it for firewood just because it tasted like garbage. And we're just like, oh yeah, Aunt Junie, like she sent us a fruit cake. Oh, let's use it for firewood.
It's like a fire starter kind of, you know.
Yeah. I don't know, but it was like I don't know who would eat those. I'm not.
Have you ever tried to eat one before?
I've never tried a fruitcake before. They don't look good.
They don't look good, and they don't even.
They actually don't taste that bad. My grandma used to send them like a long time ago before she passed away, and that was like the only person I know that would send those things. And like nobody really touched it. One day I was like, let me just peel a layer off, and then kind of suck on it. Like, okay, so you gotta kind of like wait. You can't just like eat this. It's like. It's kind of a genius way. It's made so you don't fucking finish it off in like 5 minutes. You're like, oh, it's not bad. I wouldn't go out and buy one of my own, but it's not like it's bad. Because, you know, as a kid, that's all I heard was, nobody likes fruitcakes. You know, I think there was even a joke like in a Dexter's Laboratory or something about that.
There was. I remember there's always around Christmas time jokes about no one eats that shit. And I got a feeling that's going to die off with the World War II generation.
Yeah, I think so, because there's just some of that weird food, like a Necco, even though I'm not saying that they're bad, but it's just hard to, who does that nowadays? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess that.
Whenever I see a Necco in the store, I kind of go, who's buying this right now? I just want to know. I love this, like, take like a survey every single time, like, have like a motion censored camera every single time someone picks that up. I just want to see who this is.
It's always like an old dude with a walker.
Exactly. Now, this goes back to another time. Going back to the beginning, have you been in a Hot Topic recently?
No, Marley has.
I actually have been in a Hot Topic recently, and Ryan and I were just talking about Hot Topic and Spencer's like earlier today, and like I think Spencer's is totally like it's not like Spencer's is totally like all meme, like it's like meme based culture, and Hot Topic actually has some decent products now, and they seem to be like steering back like to their roots, and Spencer's is just going like internet culture, meme culture, and then like in the back is like the sex corner or whatever.
Oh yeah, well that's always there. But talking about Hot Topic, I don't know, maybe it's just the couple that I saw just recently, because I haven't been to one in a long time, but it was amazing how conservative that place has gotten, over the years. I remember I was just in there and I was like, whoa, what the fuck? It's all well lit. There's like no fire. Nothing's really dark in here anymore. There's like a couple black t-shirts maybe. And then it's like you look at the employees and like nowadays it's like they're just normal people. They don't got the tattoos or the piercings or any of the problems anymore. I guess you could say that like, people would have called that. And then on the radio it was just like regular pop music was playing. It was like, what the fuck is this? Where am I? I mean, not saying there wasn't a couple cool, anime things there, or maybe Cartoon Network, and then it's like in the far back corner, it's like, oh yeah, you want a Soundgarden or Megadeth t-shirt? Yeah, we sort of still got that, it's pretty much where your grandpa shops at now, is in the back corner with the fucking Necco candies. He can pick up his fucking Pearl Jam shirt. Get himself a Necco candy and a Pearl Jam t-shirt, make himself feel young again.
Last couple times I went there, which had to be at least like a year ago, it was like almost like it was to bring it back sort of the beginning. It was kind of like 2001 Space Odyssey when the guy's going through the time hole, like all these bright colors are flashing by, like what the fuck's going on? You don't really.
Where's the goth pants? I know that. Though I never wanted any, I assumed they would always be here to greet me.
Well, it's like it was a weird combination of just weird goth shits and then a bunch of like whatever crazy, colorful Cartoon Network thing was going on. And then like, oh, here's some Nintendo stuff, which I'm kind of aware of. And then there's like, okay, here's the small little corner that I know of, like you said, like the Soundgarden t-shirt next to the Necco candies. But beyond that, though, everything else was just like, what the fuck's going on? I got confused. I had to leave. I was getting like because it was also it was crammed with so much shit. It was hard to move around. I was getting like claustrophobic. Like, I had to get the fuck out of there.
Like you're gonna get absorbed. Well, that's where I found that N64 hat. It was over with the fucking Necco candies and the Soundgarden t-shirts, but still, I was like, you know who you are. You clearly walked past the first whole section of the store and said, what the fuck is all this stuff? Is this popular now? Yes, that's why you're in the back corner looking at the Soundgarden t-shirt, because this is something you do know.
Today, we actually were going around to just different places around the finance. Marley's in town visiting, and I'm just putting together my Halloween costume. So I was going around. You know what? It's way easier because it was one of those things. It was like I always have this big grand scale idea. Then Halloween is like 3 days away. I'm like, oh fuck, can't put that together in time. So I'm just like, what do I got? Well, I got a red hat with the Mario emblem. Maybe if I just find a red long sleeve shirt and some overalls. Then I'm like, oh shit, I forgot. You can find overalls real easy in Sonora. Not so much San Francisco.
Yeah, because nobody's fucking working on a car or cutting down a tree there.
Yeah, so I'm looking all over the place. When I went somewhere, I'm like, hey, do you guys got overalls? They just look at me blankly. Like,
they're just like, what the fuck, dude?
Not even Target. Not even Target had fucking overalls.
Well,
and the one place...
That's the place I'd expect it to be.
The one place I went to, like, fucking... I was like,
the Levi's store.
The one place I was expecting. I went to Levi's. I'm like, okay... Levi's, and they find, oh, look, old vintage overalls made to look torn up and shitty. Okay, what do we got? $400. Oh, fuck that.
Yeah, it's just like, are these, like, literally from the 1800s? Is that why they're so expensive?
Yeah, so I'm just like, ugh. Then it would just became around like, because I'm not gonna lie, I try to be creative, but then you reach that point of just like, you know what? I'll just. I almost realized becoming more of an old because when you're a kid, you don't get. I don't give a shit. I'm gonna be Wolverine for Halloween. I don't give a shit. How impractical it is. Now you're at the point like, well, what can I wear out in public again? So,
Right.
So it's like, well, you never know. I might be doing like construction one day and might need a pair of overalls.
Yeah, it's got to be
What's
versatile.
socially acceptable that I could wear?
Yeah, so then I just was walking around, like, I came across, like, a Fallout, like, Volt-Tec jacket, and like, I do have post-apocalyptic,
Too bad
like,
you didn't have
goggles.
my fucking Pit-Boy.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I'm like, could you drive up here, jump off the Pit-Boy?
And
Yeah,
then go? No.
So now it just became around, like, well, and I'm just like, oh, well, I could try something creative and try and build something, or I could just throw fucking money at it and just,
Let money decide.
pinch, like, just pinch my pennies for a month. So, yeah, I just bought a couple miscellaneous things, so now I'm going as a Fallout guy.
There you go. At least that's an easy one. Everybody's recognizable. Everybody will like that one. And like it's like a costume, like in a sense, anybody can kind of pull off. It's like, oh, dude, that's what makes the Fallout. It's like it's one uniform, but on everybody, it's a different character. You know what I mean? That makes any sense?
Yeah, but the thing is, there's also like there's like the Fallout guy, like the Pit-Boy guy.
Oh yeah, there's that guy.
Just like it's a mask and then the jumpsuit, which I didn't do that because that's like $50 or something. You're never gonna wear again.
Exactly. No, that'd be kind of goofy. I was thinking more like just the regular your character from the game.
Sort of, yeah. So I'm going with that. I'm going with the jacket, goggles, trucker hat, probably something else to throw it in there. Maybe like find a work belt under $20.
Yeah. So
Yeah, everyone really knows like who like the Vault 101 characters are because of that Fallout Shelter like iPhone game. So everyone will be able to pick up on that. So
what are you guys going for Halloween as?
If I do anything, I just gonna use my Nightwing costume.
There you go.
It's like, there's nothing special to go make a brand new costume. So I'm like, it's kind of nice to have a couple costumes like in the bag just in case if you need them.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Marley?
I went as Five Nights at Freddy's security guard. I worked the night shifts, so
We got part of your costume from.
yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah.
I had like last year. I went as this is like my Marley was kind of there for it. I went as my fallback plan, which is originally, I don't remember what I was going as originally, but basically I was like, fuck, I can't find any of the things I need for it. Then I came across there's a beige smoking jacket. I can get a pair of brown slacks, a little bow tie, and then a fez. I'm like, okay, I can maybe go as the Matt Smith Doctor from Doctor Who. And it's like, I like Doctor Who. I'm not a huge fan, but it's recognizable enough people could put it together.
Mm-hmm.
So I go more like a shady Arabian used car salesman more than anything, because I didn't shave either. I then get on the bus, and then like this black dude gets in the bus. He sees me. He says, "Oh shit, there's a doctor in the house." I'm like, "Oh, thanks, man." He says, "I ain't talking to you, nigga." And I turn around. There's a guy dressed like Doctor Doom behind me.
Like, fuck a flying fuck about you, Doctor Who, motherfucker.
Oh man.
Yeah, that doesn't mean I like you.
That scenario,
that scenario
turned out so well.
That alone was worth it.
That's worth the costume in itself. If nobody else got it, that right there, that's just hilarious. Makes a great story for the rest of your life.
Yeah. So, even though I'm the ass end of the joke, it all works out. I got a few people like, oh, Matt Smith. Like, yeah, Matt Smith. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
They could tell like that was the fallback.
Yeah, they can
Or
tell.
one of many.
And now you
Like
get the fallout.
Oh,
snare drum.
That's kind of funny. Actually, recently, these are something that, other than the one time I watched, I almost want to say just one half of the movie at Dunigan's house. Oh, when it came out 8 years ago by now, probably. But I was like, I just gotta sit down one of these days and I gotta watch all 4 of them and just see what I think now with a very open mind. And that's the Transformers live action movies, or technically as live action as they can be. And I finally just was like, okay, bought the Blu-ray set. I'm like, if you're gonna watch it, you're gonna fucking watch it inside. You're not gonna cheapen out when you have to watch over 10 hours worth of stuff. No DVD on this bullshit or streaming it. Got to go the full distance. Get the Blu-rays, whatever.
You're gonna watch like 10 hours of like explosion porn.
Yeah, and robot punching and all that good stuff. And then as I'm sitting through watching, I watched the first one, and it's kind of like, okay, there's all the parts in there that I could kind of see like why I didn't like it first time around. But the thing is once you get past kind of like all the dumb stuff, when Optimus is there, when Megatron's there, then the movie's pretty good. And then they go away, and then the movie's kind of like, oh, okay, this is like almost like you're trying to like make up, go, okay, gotta defend this part a little bit if you want to keep going. Oh, okay, that part's a little bit retarded. Why are those little robots really fucking dumb? And then it just keeps going on. In that first one, I will say I liked it more than I liked when I watched it in 2008 or whenever it came out.
Well, I remember when I was showing it to you, because I was like, it's not as bad as you think. And the whole time you're sitting there, arms crossed. Robots aren't on screen. Fuck it.
Yeah,
now
like,
we got like super positive
1986.
Spencer.
It's not 1986. Well, that first one, you know, it's one of those movies. Like I'd probably say my overall rating, Leonard Maltin style, would be like 2.5 out of 4 on that one. That right now, which I'd still say it's fun and decent. But there is some weird shit going on in that movie that it's kind of like, why is that in that movie? Like, and I think the things that are kind of annoying in it's kind of like, okay, you got the little kid robots or like the small robots. Pretty much all those ones in that first movie really obnoxious. Like I don't know,
like going around like turning into jam boxes and like and he's walking by, he's like kind of covering his face like awkwardly as if they saw him or something.
Well, yeah, it's like they're almost doing some weird fucking like silent movie fucking stand-up routine joke. And I don't know, it's so weird. It's just that feeling like when you watch that one, I actually think the movies get better as they go on, but it is that sort of thing where it just has that feeling of like, yep, that is literally the generation beforehand making something for the generation, or I guess that would make sense, generation now, but not really now. But it's like one generation away of people making something that they almost totally don't understand. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. Mm-hmm. And then we get to I'm curious to hear you, because I know that here's the thing about it. We talked a little bit about this on the phone, and now for the last 100 episodes, I think you're one of the most positive people I've met. I know. So now just hearing you go, I'm like, so yeah, like even you were having trouble with certain things.
The first one's kind of like that. Okay, now the second one starts off almost even stupider than the first one. Like that first half an hour, not saying there's not a couple cool scenes in there, but like when they go to college and the mom's like, I'm eating pot brownies. Woo! My son's got a boner.
That was so
Woo!
stupid.
You're like,
I couldn't believe it.
Why is this even in a Transformers
fucking
movie?
pot in those brownies. That was something else.
You know, and then, yeah, that made that lady go really fucking weird. And then the roommate in there was just kind of like very like douchey. She's like, I got my underground network here, blah, 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 but you can join because you're my roommate, but you got to work under me. And all this stuff. And it's like, what the fuck? And this is something that kind of bothers me in movies in general. Okay, you got Shia LaBeouf in there. Fucking met aliens for the first time on planet Earth, fucking saved the world / maybe universe, and then he goes back to fucking school? Who the fuck goes back to school after that? What is the point of what are you going to learn from school that you are not going to learn from a fucking Autobot? Really? I mean, like, what is the point of that? That to me,
they just kind of relate.
It's because his parents want him to go back to school.
Well, no,
it's like, yeah, you did save like the planet from like an alien invasion, but your BA would actually be really helpful right now.
Well, that's what it is. It is the relate thing, because they probably put it in there in the movie. It probably comes from like the producer level, where they're like, yeah, we can't have kids looking up to a kid who drops out of school to work with robots. Because you see, in real life, that's just not going to happen. You know, if those kids drop out of school saying they're going to work with an Autobot, and next thing you know, we'll be paying for them as they live on the fucking street.
as they work as a mechanic. No, this is the closest they'll ever get.
The highest they will get will be a mechanic.
No, like there was what was it? It was one of the things about Dragon Ball Evolution. They said, well, you see, the reason why we made Goku go to high school is because we didn't want kids looking up to an uneducated idiot. Also, we took Krillin out because we don't think bald people sell.
Exactly. Like, well, like those marketing things. That's kind of how I feel. That's the reason why Shia LaBeouf had to go to college. And it's one of those ones back in the day, Shia LaBeouf used to kind of like bother me. But over time, I came to accept him. And I think it was with 2 movies made me really go, you know what? He's actually a pretty darn good actor. And it sort of changed it for me. It was Wall Street 2 and
Fury?
What's the one where... No, that came later on. I already liked him by that point. What's the fucking 1930s?
Lawless?
Like, yeah, Lawless. Those were the 2 movies where it's like, you know what? He's pretty darn cool. And when I go back and watch these movies, actually Shia LaBeouf doesn't actually bother me at all. It's really... He might say a couple retard lines here and there or do something kind of dumb. Like, for the part who's like, Bumblebee, you gotta stay here, you know, just because you're a fucking cool car, I can't take you. It's just like, why? What do you mean? You're just gonna like? It's like getting a fucking X-wing going. Yeah, I'm just gonna park this in a garage and never fly it. But you got a fucking X-wing. Yeah, I do, but I just don't want to use it. I don't want to seem too cool in life.
Well, there is a thing that movie also does. Like, I'll say all those movies, they always keep the action beats going, even on things like that aren't even important to the movie. They're like, it's getting a little still right here. Throw in an action scene. Well, how are we going to throw in an action scene? He's at his parents' house, just kind of like talking about how he has to go back to school. Well, how about that little like energy cube? It lands on a fucking blender, and the whole house gets attacked by little mini robots. It's just like that scene didn't even really have to fucking happen. Right
No,
there.
it's like they're so unnecessary. I look at those. Those are the kind of scenes I look at nowadays in movies too, and go, there was just $1 million wasted on nothing. Like, why do we? That could have been used towards something else.
I love now we're talking about Transformers after they're almost done with the whole franchise.
Well, they're almost done, but I think it's a good kind of retrospect because there's probably other people that have been in my camp where they're just like, fuck it, not watching them. I'm just gonna stay away. And here it is, just coming into it later on. And I feel like there's been enough time that's passed since then that it makes it kind of a neat sort of retrospect, I guess you can say. Mm-hmm. But I'll say too, once the movie gets past about the 45-minute/hour mark, it's pretty darn good from that point on. Actually, though, it's just that
if you lose the ghetto bots,
yeah, the ghetto bots, which those things are one of those ones like, wow, how'd that fucking get into a movie in like the 2000s? They're literally like the nigga bots is really what it breaks down to. It's just like, it feels like a Boondocks like joke that just happened to be a little bit too late.
It feels like
voiced
something
by Tom Kenny, I think. So
it seems like something like the Boondocks would parody, kind of like out of satire, just kind of like, because that's what a lot of the Boondocks does. It's a really self-aware satire that's pointing out like what's wrong with things aimed at like, just trying to like this, gentrification culture, and like how like black culture is kind of like represented in some ways, and that's what Boondocks. So it's almost kind of like something the Boondocks would rip on right there.
I know, or at least it just even feels like a joke in the Boondocks. Like they would say, like, "Oh, we're gonna go watch Transformers." Like, "Oh, they got the nigga bots in there and everything like that." And it's like, "Oh no, they
and
put
Riley
them in there."
Really likes them, but Huey would hate them. Yeah,
exactly. Mine's like one of those things, but it's like, "Oh no, this is full on in a serious movie." You got these two characters, and it's like those are one of those ones. That's like, boy, this is, that movie only came out what 6 years ago, 7 years ago,
something
and it's kind of like,
yeah,
it's almost like there's some lines like, hey, could you read this? For like, oh man, we don't read. What do you mean, just reading stuff? It's just like, oh, geez, like
Jesus Christ, yeah, that's like
done in such poor taste.
If that was like Transformers, like 1950, then I'd be like, oh, okay, that's fine. I can understand. It was a different time, but nowadays it's just kind of like, wow, that's weird. It's like, oh, okay, so.
I'm surprised I didn't hear more of an outrage about it back then.
No, nobody really said much about those guys. It was just like, people were more like, they put balls on a robot. And then when I finally saw the scene with the balls, it's like, oh, I thought like the balls were going to be like swinging in some guy's face, like slapping him back and forth. And it's just like, oh no, it was just literally two metal rods that were hanging there that could have been anything for all we know.
Like a veiny, hairy sack or something.
Yeah, that like I kind of just big titanium balls. I expected just to be swinging like maybe, and then like you see, it's just kind of like, oh, that's it.
Well, they did kind of swing in John Turturro's face. Poor John Turturro that he had to suffer through like 4 of those movies.
I wonder if that's on the action figure.
You put it together. It's actually a separate piece you put on. Like you put it together all the rest of them, like the construction construction bots, and then you put that in last.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say, by number 3 was a really fucking good movie.
Really? You think so?
I thought number 3 was probably the best of them all.
I gotta say, number 3 is one of those things. I like it at the very the last 45 minutes of it when they're just blowing shit up. But for a while, it's a lot of Shia LaBeouf like, let's go on a national treasure adventure,
Well, it does have a bit of that.
Fallen, right?
Yeah, that's the third one. The third one's
no, it's the Dark Side of the Moon. Or
oh yeah, that's right. That one actually was bad.
I thought that one actually had a cool story. I liked how they kind of just intertwined like American and Soviet history together with the Transformers. I thought that was neat. And then that was one of those movies that every single time I thought it was going to go towards something stupid, the fucking ship pulled up so quickly that it was like they might allow like 1 or 2 dumb lines to come out from a character, but it didn't stay there like it did in 1 and 2, where like it would just stay in stupidity for a while and then finally come back out. That one was like, oh fuck, we're going retarded, pull back up, okay. The mom's gonna say something dumb, pull back up, okay, we're out of the way here. So for the most part, that one I actually thought I liked the story a lot. It had a lot of good action in it throughout the whole thing. And even though it had that kind of thing where it might feel like it might be a bad story thing where Shia LaBeouf's like, I gotta get a job, I gotta support my family, I got this rich girlfriend, which I like how the robots are like, or they're like, whatever happened to that other chick? Oh, she was a fucking bitch, that's why we dumped her ass.
She.
I think the one thing I remember about Dark Side of the Moon is that I remember because all the the previous films, the filming style is always very Michael
spinny cameras
Bayified,
and
how it's
everything's
really
rotating.
shaky and spins around. But Dark Side of the Moon was like the first one that they actually shot in 3D. So Michael Bay had to be a little bit more conservative with his shaky cams and like the camera spinning. So a lot of the shots in Dark Side of the Moon were framed and were mostly still because if the camera's shaking in the 3D movie, you're just gonna be sick. So
Yeah.
I felt like 3D actually made Michael Bay a better filmmaker, and he planned out his shots a lot more. But that's
No,
the
I agree with you there too, because that was something I did notice. I'm like, the shots are much better because those spinny camera angles, they're cool, but when you start doing them for like every fucking scene, like it's like, okay, that's like a special effect. You know what I mean? If we watched the Death Star blow up 100 times in fucking Star Wars, it wouldn't be that cool anymore. You know what I mean?
yeah.
After a while,
like-
it looks like a lot of just piles of trash fucking.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's why I thought 3 just overall is just going back. It's like, okay, he's getting a job thing, and that mostly can be kind of a dumb thing too. Almost like going to college. Like, why is he doesn't need a fucking job? Like, he should just go, Optimus, give me a fucking job. You're like, yes, Sam. Let's get you a job. Now suck my dick.
I didn't mean this. Because we're going to edgy direction.
Yeah,
We're trying to go
no.
for the Sundance Award.
But no, I just thought that one, it was kind of a cool story where it's like, oh, fuck. You know, like, Chicago's getting destroyed here. Like, what do we do? Like, can we work with these guys? Can we not? You know? And then, of course, Megatron's always coming back. And the only real one dumb part, there was a part where, because he had that girlfriend, for the most part was not too bad, but she did have that thing where literally fucking Sam and like the rest of the crew, they're like, we're trying to save the fucking universe right now with the Autobots. And she's like, you're going to choose them over me? And it's just that kind of thing. I hate those parts of movies like, yes, I'm going to choose saving the fucking universe over you right now, because guess what? If I choose you, we all fucking die.
I haven't
All
seen that
fucking
movie
die.
since the theater, so I'm having trouble remembering a lot of it. Maybe I was being too judgmental, like, because maybe that's the point where I was being like too like, I don't know, like by that point. But maybe by this point,
that one, yeah, I kid you not. I think that's probably the best Transformers one out of them all, in my personal opinion. I like that one the most. I thought the story was good. The retarded stuff, it always pulled back out of it. It was shot, I think, a little bit better. I think action was based throughout the thing. It was all pretty good. And then I watched the Marky Mark one, I think, last night and the night before, and I actually liked that one almost just as much as probably the third one. I'm actually not too sure which one I like more, because really there was only like maybe 8 fucking lines that were probably kind of annoying in it, but for the rest of the movie, it was all good. And really the only bad part about it was just like the douchey fucking Irish guy. And at first he kind of had maybe a reason to be kind of douchey, because he's like, okay, he saved them and whatnot, and then his car gets destroyed. So at first I'm like, okay, I can see how he could kind of have an attitude, because Marky Mark's kind of like putting him down, and he saved their life, / he had to lose his car in the process. But then after a while, it's like, it keeps going on. He's like, no, I'm just a fucking douche. And I don't know why he talking like Donald Trump. Well, really, it's like, okay, he's talking in an Irish accent, but what I really hear is like, yeah, I don't really care. I'm just here to bang your daughter. You know what I mean? Fuck, that's okay. I'll take a Snapchat of it and send it to you later, Marky Mark.
Yeah, it's kind of, I don't like, that's one I haven't really seen since the theaters also. But that one, it's like, only character I like in there aside from the robots was Marky Mark. Everybody else just annoyed me, and I don't know. I usually you tell me, oh, what's this? 2.5 hours of robots punching each other. I'd be like, fuck yeah! But for whatever reason, by this point, I guess maybe I'm just becoming an old man. I just got fatigue on that. It wasn't by any means like the god awful thing that people say it is, but it didn't really grab me like I thought it would. You know, it's like, what's this one about? Well, Marky Mark is now the main character, and because you got a likable like human protagonist, and then and the Optimus is just like, I don't give a shit. Let's fucking kill some shit now, you know. And then after a while, though, it just became just more. I don't know. It just kind of ran together for me after a while, and they were kind of holding on to too much of the lore when they're just like, just fucking go forward. You don't got to explain all this shit.
I think it would have been a lot more interesting if they made like the Marky Mark character like that was canon with like the Shia LaBeouf character.
That's
like,
his cousin or whatever.
No, or no, it's just Shia LaBeouf older.
I just got a gym membership. That's all that happened. There is that thing. I want to say that it was like Painted Black pointed it out. Like some like what like there's the line like Marky Mark says like, "Yo, that's how we do things in Texas."
I don't know.
Yeah, that is true, because you got Marky Mark kind of play. They make him play a Southern guy all the time, and it's like, yeah, maybe that's blue collar is one thing. Even though I guess in Texas this day and age, though, you could have somebody like Marky Mark. I mean, he's born and raised in Texas. Maybe he just moved there fucking when he was like 20.
I mean, there's some beautiful imagery in that movie of just kind of, just like the whole when he goes to the abandoned not the junkyard, where he comes across the Optimus, and there's a lot of
the movie theater and all that stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool imagery and a lot of like the Americana type shots, which I think Michael Bay's really good at. Yeah. But it's more like everybody
just a huge American flag, just like in the middle of Texas. I'm just like
he has that. That's like every Michael Bay movie. Yeah. There's an American flag in there somewhere.
Yeah,
but like it's like everybody in that movie that's not a robot and not Marky Mark can fucking die, as far as I'm concerned.
Really? See, the thing is, the only person that really bothered me more than anything was just the douchey Irish guy. And if I break it down, it's probably like 6 lines that really make him kind of annoying. And then the daughter, she was fine until the douchey guy showed up, and then it's like it changed her personality to being douchey.
Is that the T.J. Miller?
No, there's the T.J. Miller character, which I usually like T.J. Miller, but he's the dopey, like, whoa, guys, kind of friend,
Well, yeah, but he dies off like fucking 30 minutes into it, which I was actually
a horrific death, by the way. I'm like, oh my god.
I really thought that guy was going to be there the whole time, and it's like, oh fuck. That movie's going ballsy there. It's just killing off the comic relief character right in the beginning.
Yeah.
But no, I think that, okay, it's like, yeah, if I break it down, it was only like a handful of lines that really do it. But then it's like you got Kelsey Grammer as the bad guy. I'm like,
oh, Kelsey Grammer was good. I like Kelsey Grammer as the bad guy.
And then even the guy who was pretty much like Steve Jobs of like Autobots, like that guy, like, I like the guy for what character he did play. It was like, he was kind of a bad guy, and then he kind of turned around towards the end, but it never like bothered me because of the way he was. I think that worked for the character. Yeah, for the most part, that one, like, I liked everything about it. I liked the John Goodman robot. I liked the Samurai robot. I liked they had the Dinobots in there. Like, that one overall, they had Galvatron. They turned him into that. Like, that one was pretty darn fucking good. Like, I'm actually really not too sure which one I like more, 3 or 4. I only watched them once, and I watched them back to back, but...
Maybe I gotta watch it again, spend some time, but like...
But no, the 3 and 4 were the ones that I'm like, oh, they finally kind of like, they got the Transformers sorted down by this point. I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna say there's a couple like road bumps like any other movie, but for the most part, those ones were pretty darn good. Where 1 and 2 were kind of a little bit more shakier. I felt they were kind of like building up, kind of getting their footing going, letting Michael Bay's weird comedy kind of come out. Like in number 2, there's a part where, what's the S7 guy's name again? Sector 7 guy.
Oh, John Turturro?
Yeah, that guy, where there's a part that there's just random ass comedy in there that it's like Michael Bay and his writers and producers must be the only people that find this stuff funny, because I don't know who the else does. Where it's just like he's like just got his ass just pointed at the camera with his like fucking jockstrap on, and Shia LaBeouf's like, "Are you wearing a fucking jockstrap?" He's like, "Yeah, this is the part of the volleyball team for Sector 7." He's like, "I gotta change into my uniform or whatever." But it's like, why is that even in there? Like, I mean, I know why it's in there. Somebody thinks it's funny. But in a Transformers movie, is that really fucking necessary? Like, what are you making, a college, like, comedy?
It's for the kids.
Yeah, it's for the kids. Because kids want to see old, hairy ass. Yeah? Who doesn't?
Yeah, I know. It's one of those things that eventually, I mean, I'm not one of those people, because a lot of people find it really offensive. I wonder if, like, David Razzie suddenly just unfriends us after hearing this.
Well, it's one of those ones, like, I mean... Those movies, I think, by the most part, I think that's kind of how it is. The Transformers fans, like, they took it all offensive at first. Like, I did so myself. And then it's like, when you kind of go back with an open mind and look at these ones and stuff like that, it's like, okay, yeah, the first 2 maybe are a little bit more bumpy. But I think by 3 and 4, like, that's pretty good. I mean, probably the next person who will take over the Transformers and probably reboot it, that might be where it gets really dialed in. And somebody who, grew up with the Transformers, loved the Transformers, was a kid in the 80s, and now is like 30-something years old, and they're fucking gonna, or probably be like 40 by the time they probably do it. But now they get their chance to make it. I think those movies would be pure amazing. But right now, for what it is, it's like, no, that's actually still pretty darn good. Like, I mean, not a whole lot to complain. I mean, it's good that they still have Optimus Prime, the original voice actor, and all that kind of stuff. Whenever there's an Autobot or Decepticon on screen, it's always good.
Hopefully,
and then I think by 3 and 4, like, also the graphics just got kind of better too on them. So they started to look a little bit, I don't know, smoother and better.
The only thing I remember about Age of Extinction, well, there's 2 things that I remember, is that Optimus Prime is, like, really, really fucking pissed towards the end of the movie. Like
join us.
I don't think you can be that. I don't think you can be more angry than he is. He's flying into space and just like, I'm gonna destroy you, and I'm like,
he's like, out of my fucking way. Well, that's the one
like,
thing I think about when I watch those Transformers movies is how fucking violent they are. Because they're really in a sense a superhero movie when you break it down. And I just kind of picture instead flip flop this with either Justice League or the Avengers. And I just picture like the Avengers like, there's one of them, there's Loki, and they just all run over there and just start grabbing him by a leg and fucking ripping him off, and then just start beating him with it and just tearing him apart. Because that's pretty much what it's like. You watch those movies like, holy fuck, is this violent? Like even like Optimus Prime, like I would never kill a human, but fuck a Decepticon. And he's just like ripping him apart, stabbing him, like die, you dirty demon.
Well, I know the big selling point was Optimus riding a dinosaur with a sword. Like, fuck yeah, it looks like an 80s metal album.
That lasted like 15 minutes out of a 3-hour movie.
Yeah, they were really trying to push that, but I was like, I'm gonna have to watch it again. Like, when I walked out of it, I wasn't pissed off or offended, but I was like, I wished I liked it more than I did. But, maybe...
Well,
maybe
to piggyback on, like, you walked out of it. I actually saw Age of Extinction in a theater. It's
I didn't walk out of it. I didn't walk out. I mean, like when I walked out of when the movie was done. I meant.
Oh, okay. Well, I actually walked out of Age of Extinction 3 times to go to the bathroom. And the funny thing is that every time I walked back, I was like, "Is this the same fucking scene?" Like Age of Extinction just looks so similar. Like it's usually like Mark Wahlberg like being a badass, robots fighting, and then that's pretty much it. So
well, those movies are like ridiculous. All 4 of them are all like ridiculously long. They probably, I feel like you could probably make them all 2-hour long movies, and they probably would run extremely fluid. But for some reason, they're just super long. I don't know. By 3 and 4, it didn't bother me nearly as much. But yeah, it's weird to make how long. Like, cause yeah, Age of Extinction was like 2 hours and 45 minutes.
There's movies about the Holocaust longer than those movies, or shorter than These are the Holocaust. They're shorter than those. I mean,
and the thing is, at the end of the day, there's not a whole lot that sort of happens. It's just they have a copious amount of action, which is cool in some ways.
Each other in the balls for like 2 hours. By the time they come out with the new ones or whatever, they reboot or whatever.
Isn't there a 5th Transformers?
There's going to be a 5th one, but we'll see what happens
next year or something.
Yeah, I think it is next year actually.
Whenever they come out with like probably whatever the reboot is, hopefully they're done with that trend where it's like, oh, what's the trailer? Well, we got a slow, creepy version of a song everyone knows. You know what I mean? I'm kind of expecting. Like, did you see the trailer for the new Gore Verbinski movie?
I don't know, which movie was that one?
Called like The Cure for Wellness, and it looks like kind of like a mental asylum psychological horror movie, which the movie itself looks like it could be. It's rated R, so it looks like it could be creepy and a good movie. But the song they have playing the trailer though is the Ramones' Blitz Bop.
Mm-hmm. But is it not by the Ramones?
What? No, it's not by Ramones. It's just like, I want to be sedated. Mm-hmm. Hurry, hurry, hurry. Like slow piano, showing all this creepy imagery, It's like, well, I'm sure it's probably going to be a good creepy movie, but just something about the trailer. I'm just like, can we stop with the fucking cover songs and all these trailers? And I'm waiting for maybe a whatever the next Transformers one, because I don't think the others had that trend going when the last couple came out. So I'm kind of wondering if this one's going to have because there's a song, it's the end of the world as we know it, which is maybe like a fun song, but they just have the slow, sad version.
Well, the Transformers has always had the Linkin Park. Linkin Park has always done songs for that. It's like, I forget.
First one, well, here's the thing, actually. Don't ask me how the fuck I know this. I just kind of noticed it. The song they had for the first one was just a Linkin Park album came out around the same time. And that, this will be the song for the movie, but it kind of came around the song. Don't even read. Yeah, we already have licensing issues with Warner Music, so don't. But
Paramount now too. No.
And now, but something else about that though was the song they're trying to sell on that movie was actually a song by the Goo Goo Dolls, because the Goo Goo Dolls just got back together around that time, or they just put something out, and then ever since then, yeah, Goo Goo Dolls, turns out people don't give a fuck about you. It ain't the 90s,
Exactly.
Go back to City of Angels. We got this shit with good Linkin Park.
We got Linkin Park. Yeah, they always have that.
Yeah, do people even care about Linkin Park, though, still?
They did.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
I don't know. You're asking the wrong person if people really... I was, when I was on the Painted Black podcast, some months back, I think Lou called him... I never thought of it this way. Lou called him, the lead singer of Lincoln. Oh no, he called Guy Fieri. He's like, oh yeah, Fat Chester from Lincoln Park. I never thought of that.
No, I never put that together. I don't know, because to me, like, I was never into Linkin Park, really. It always just felt too, even as a kid who was, like, targeted towards, it was like, nope, this feels just too soft for me. Not saying that they're not good musicians, I'm just saying it's just not for me.
They've got, like, it's one of those things, like, if I look long enough, like, oh, that song's kind of good. And I liked them when I was a kid, but then one day I turned 14, and I'm like, I'm too old for this shit.
One day I turned 14, and I cracked open a beer and grew a beard, and next thing you know...
Got a job at the lumber
Fuck
mill.
Lincoln Park.
Got my driver's license. It all seemed to happen in one fell swoop. And then I started having to shop at the back of the Hot Topic.
Here I got a dresser of like Batman figures behind me, and I'm just like, yeah, I got too old for it.
I had to put the Linkin Park poster away.
People might judge me and think less of me.
Speaking of Batman, did you play that Batman the Arkham like remakes yet?
No, I haven't.
Those ones, it's actually pretty amazing how good those fucking games look. I turned on Arkham City. I'm like, I'd like to go back and play this one. And at first, when you're kind of watching, you're like, oh fuck! For a second there, I almost felt like I was playing a brand new game. It was like it looked that radically different.
It's kind of funny how that could happen. Just like a little remake. When we played the remastered of like Halo 2.
Yeah, how good that one fucking looks.
I mean, I remember playing Halo 2. I remember the graphics looking good. But I can't believe, as this one of those things, like when you actually go like back to Xbox or PlayStation 2, it is one of those things. Oh wow, I guess it looked radically different because we saw the slow progression to where it got now. Because every system since then, it's never been like that 60 that like well, I'm gonna say like there's like from PlayStation from like Genesis and Nintendo. The Genesis and NES to like 64 and PlayStation, that's a big jump. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to say even like N64 to GameCube and PlayStation
that's
to
still
PlayStation 2.
Jump.
That's a pretty big jump. Then ever since then, though, just like, oh yeah, it looks a little better. So the several generations it went up, and then you just go like 2 generations back, like, oh wow, it does actually look a lot different.
So I'm a little 1 generation back for this game, and it's like, holy crap! I mean, yeah, the Halo one's like the ultimate like remake of any game. I've never seen anything look that good. The Halo 2 fucking remake, but the Batman one, it does look. It's like, wow, it looks really good. The only thing you kind of notice, this is probably the only thing that maybe slightly dates the Batman one. It's all like the extra features that came in 3 and 4 that you're kind of like, oh yeah, you can't beat the shit out of somebody while they're still on the ground, or you can't like do the boosty boost with like the grappling gun and just fly across town as fast as possible. But it's not really a big qualm. Where I feel like in Arkham Asylum, that's okay because that game was made to be kind of in a small level, so it works fine. Where Arkham City's kind of in this big world, but you're kind of still missing some of those extra features. But once again, not that too much a big deal.
This is going to sound very un-superhero-ish, but one of the funnest things to do in that game is to beat someone while they're on the ground.
Well, that was like the best feature I thought of. Actually, number 4 was like, oh fuck, you could just continuously beat these guys as they're on the ground instead of having to wait for them to stand back up like a man.
Because there's that thing where they'd go, you'd have to do that like, I don't know, some weird button combination to like knock him out while he's on the ground.
Yeah, you hit R2,
where this one,
triangle or whatever.
Where this one is just like, good shit, fuck down, just saying like this big buff billionaire beat down this guy who's clearly in a lower class. It is kind of like, Batman's my favorite thing, but it clearly is a little classes to a certain extent.
Yeah, it really is.
This'll fucking learn you to stay fucking poor.
Go back to jail where you belong and make license plates for my Rolls Royce.
So I'm a little behind on video games, but these games you're talking about that they remastered Arkham Origin or Arkham Asylum and Arkham City.
Yeah, they did those 2 on PS4 and Xbox One. The only downfall to the set though is they didn't put Arkham Origins in there, which I just feel it's always like that weird thing when you do a set.
It never happened.
And you miss, there's just one game. There's just pretty much, I mean, you could technically have 2 because you could put the 3DS/PSP Vita one in there too if you want to make like the full collection. But, let's say that's including that one. It's like you got one other game you could have just done and thrown it in there and just made the collection complete. But instead they kind of ixnay just one, and it's like, oh, okay, it's like the Halo Master Chief Collection. I know it says Master Chief in the title, but it's like, you can't just throw Reach in there just to complete it. Like, how fucking hard is that just to whip that game in there? You know what I mean? And that's it.
Well, wasn't it Arkham Origins? It wasn't developed by Rocksteady. It was developed by like a other studio.
Montreal.
Yeah, it was done by a different studio. So I mean, that's probably like if you ask them, that's why they'd say it. They're like, oh yeah, well that's because it was done by another studio. But as kind of like the gamer and the fan, it's just kind of like, well, fuck, you're missing out on the prequel, which, is pretty much just as good as any of the other ones anyways. So why would you, it's not like it was a bad game at all. And it was like, really the only problem with the game was if you played it kind of day one, there were some glitches. But by this point, those are all ironed out. So who cares? It's a great game now.
I think it's one of those things that just they're like, well, that is kind of a lot of people look down on that one compared to other ones, even though it's a fun game. But like, still, people almost kind of like hold grudges. I know people hold a lot more grudges towards like things like that now, and sort of that stuff, depending on the game, will cause me from like or keep me from buying the game day one or right away because. There was like I heard about Mafia 3, and I hear it's a good game and it's fun, but I hear that it's like more of a game to get on sale, and especially when they iron out all the stuff. Because something I am tired of is video game companies having this tendency, like, yeah, we know you'll fucking buy it day one, so yeah, we'll throw out patches later, maybe. And there's like a patch for like Batman Origins, which they never put out. Because like, yeah, we're not going to make enough money. I've made as much money as we can, so we're not putting out this patch that actually lets you win like all the. Because there's a thing like, I'm never going to go out and collect all the fucking Riddler trophies because fuck that, it ain't worth it. But there's a thing like if you wanted to do that, you couldn't complete it because there's some fucking patch that if you went early, you couldn't get into some tower or some shit like that. Which I know what patch to talk about because that happened to me.
Yeah, I know. Well, I think they fixed all that stuff though, because that was just like day one problems. I think after 1 year, I think all that stuff's been kind of cleared up. Because
I heard one of them they said we're not going to bother with that. I thought I heard that maybe they got around to it.
Maybe, but I know like the game itself, like they fixed it up because it seemed like anybody who played it just a couple months later like had perfect experiences. So,
But that's what I like about Nintendo is that like yeah they take forever to release games, but like when their game comes out, like the game is near perfect. Like they rarely have any glitches, and I wish that other developers would follow Nintendo, but they'd rather have day one patches.
It's not so much the games are bad; it's just more of like a lot of shitty business practices. Like last time I was visiting you, Spencer, we played Street Fighter V, and the thing was the name of the game. It's a fun, well put together street fighting game.
Yeah, probably the best playing Street Fighter game there is to date. But
the thing about it is literally one of the smallest rosters I've seen. I think that maybe I'm wrong here. Maybe someone may say, like, you're fucking lying. But I'm pretty sure Street Fighter 2, like any number of those editions, like Turbo Edition or whatever, had more fucking playable characters.
And not just the same, if I had to guess.
Same, and like maybe it's like this one, because there's certain characters like, oh yeah, you have to buy Guile, you have to buy this character, you have to buy that character. Just like, what happened today is just fucking unlock this shit. And like it just annoys the ever-living fuck out of me.
Because it's one of those ones, if there was 40 characters on there from day one, and then they said, okay, $10 more and you get 5 extra characters. Well, okay, that might be like, okay. But when you say, like, here you go, here's 18 characters, and you're like, dude, fucking Marvel vs. Capcom 2 was 73 characters. I just assumed that that's where the bar was set, and we were only going to go up from that point. I didn't realize that was actually the pinnacle of fighting games, and it's went down since then.
And I don't expect like Street Fighter to have 73 characters, but I want to say Third Strike in Alpha 3 had a fuck ton of characters.
Well, yes, as I was gonna say, Alpha 3 though, like that's kind of almost what I sort of expect out of a Street Fighter game is about that many. Third Strike had a decent amount, but compared to Alpha 3 though, it's like, oh boy, Alpha 3 I think had almost 40 characters in that game. Mm-hmm. And I know Street Fighter 5, by the time if you get like Street Fighter 5, like the final version, which one is this? We don't want you counting because we don't want you to know how much you spent. But I think that one had about 40 something characters in it by the time it was all said and done for number 4.
Yeah, it's just kind of ridiculous to me because
it's just so cheap. Yeah. I think because I think the thing about a fighting game is unless you like play competitively or something like that, that is literally the genre you probably get the least amount of gameplay out of. And I love fighting games, but it is at the end of the day, like what you probably put 10 hours in after 6 years of owning the game.
And the whole thing about I know that eventually a story mode came out, but when the game first came out and there was no story mode, like we'll be adding a story mode later in the line. Like, fuck you. You mean to tell me all this time you're putting this game together, you didn't have the time to make a fucking story mode? Well, and most of the time it's usually like a fucking like slide, like a slideshow. It's just like, I mean, I'm not expecting like a fully produced movie here, but it's one of those things where it's just like, I've seen you guys do other shit. Why are you doing this slideshow shit with, you know what I'm saying?
To sort of defend like the developers a little bit, going back to what I said about Nintendo has they have like the ability to delay a game because they really just have to answer to themselves. Like when you're a third party developer answering to EA and you say that this game has to get delayed, you like they have that means that EA has to like change the date, put a bunch of people on overtime, and it costs like the game ends up costing like way more money like than they originally planned. With Nintendo, it's like, oh, you done with this game? It's just like they say no and they just continue because they just have to.
They're all like on their contracts. So it's like, well, whatever. I work at Nintendo for 5 years. Doesn't make a difference how much, you know. It's not like I'm per project base. You know what I mean? And I think that's sort of I understand how that kind of happens. Is that the second gets delayed, that's an extra like $20 million they got to throw out to keep these 200 employees going for another 6 months, which I think in like. Because, I start breaking that down with a lot of things, like just, the way you get spent. It's like, as I was saying before, of a movie. You make all the fucking robots come to life in the house, like the blender and the toaster and all that stuff, and you just kind of look at that shot and you go, huh, boy, was that a fucking expensive shot. There you go, there's $1 million. Or another one that I thought was really dumb in Transformers 2 was the part where, I mean, I understand the logic of the scene, but just you look at how wasteful it was. Where fucking Shia LaBeouf's in college and he starts having a fucking seizure and he gets up and he starts writing on the chalkboard and everything like that, or fucking probably not chalkboard, but you know what I mean. Starts writing out all like the Transformers, symbols. But at the end of the day, you look, you go, man, there's probably like 100 extras in that college room. You're paying that kind of fancy actor up there. You got Shia LaBeouf. You got to have all the crew. They probably took a day or two to shoot that whole scene for something that wasn't really even that important, and it cost them probably a couple $1 million. And you just go, that's kind of just a waste of money right there.
Yeah, well, it's like, regarding what I get what you guys are saying about delays and all that, but I can't imagine. Look, I'm no programmer, but I can't imagine like Street Fighter being that real. I mean, I know it's a deep fighting game, but it's not like it's fucking Dark Souls or Grand Theft Auto 5. I can't imagine. I mean, it's all just like one player, like two players at a time fighting each other. I mean, I'm sure maybe someone could probably break it down and explain. About that, but I'm looking at it just like I just don't think that for how much they're charging it, and they just kind of put out like a somewhat finished game. You're like, we'll add a little bit later down the line. Don't worry about it.
Well, I think this is where it's bad is when it comes down from like somebody like Capcom, which should be a company that you know and trust. And when they start doing shady things like that, you just go, well, no wonder fucking people jump ship. No wonder Shinji Mikami jumped. No wonder the guy that created Mega Man left. There, you can see where everything starts falling apart is once they start taking pretty much Street Fighter, the biggest thing that Capcom has, and just doing kind of like a half-ass release. Which I'll say, like, I bought the game because like a week later they're like, "You want the game for $30?" I'm like, "Fuck yeah, I'll take the game for $30." A broken game for $30, that's totally fine. And then when I played, it's like, oh fuck, well if you want to play as Ryu and Ken, this is the best fucking Street Fighter game they've ever made. And then they fix Vega, and Chun-Li plays good and everything like that. But they're really at the end of the day. There's maybe 6 characters, 8 maximum worth playing as. The rest of them are all kind of like dumb or okay, and I gotta try something new here and there. But it is one of those games that, other than that, if I didn't play so much just Ryu versus Ken, I don't know if the game would be totally worth it for me to even have it.
And it's also one of those things like you can say that like oh well they had trouble developing this or developing that, but it's like you said, it's Capcom and it's Street Fighter. Walk into any kind of store that sells video gaming merchandise, there's going to be a corner devoted to Street Fighter. So you mean to tell me that I don't know how the merchandising, where it goes, or how much of that cut goes to Capcom and how much of that goes to the development team? But it's one of those things like, are you fucking serious how big this thing is? That's like saying Disney's like, oh yeah, we kind of cheapened out on like the new Frozen or whatever the fuck,
Yeah, we just kind of did it like, we just did every 4 frames of animation instead. Like, that just decided to save a bunch. So it's all
I know that's comparing a movie to a video game, but it's still one of those things. It's just like, how does a company like that,
This sounds weird, but like, do you remember on Game Boy Advance when they released like cartoons and movies on like the cartridges? They did like maybe 20 of them or something like that.
Yeah.
And I remember like, it was at the time period, it was like it was cool because it was like, oh fuck, I can take this to go. Like, are you fucking kidding me? But I remember like the frame, it skipped like maybe at least like 3 or 4 frames like to have that movie going. But as a kid, you didn't fucking care at all. It didn't make a difference. But I think about stuff like that.
Anybody that's gonna really put us back to like the whole remember Necco candies? Well, remember the Game Gear like television adapter thing where you can get a signal, just this big clunky ass Game Gear with this fucking television thing, and just like get the signal just right and play around. Like, oh, I can watch television on my Game Gear.
I feel like we're talking so much about Necco candies that the CEO of Necco is just going to be like, "Hey, Old Man Orange, sponsorship?
I'll take it." Necco,
yeah.
you dead yet? Are you dead yet? No. Well, you might like these.
If you're close, this will be the perfect candy for you.
Ad with Spencer just like reading the Necco candies. Like, use the promo code Old Man Orange for 15% off Necco candies.
Like a box set of 36 Neccos.
It does make me want to try Neccos just to try it out. Just like, what do these taste like again? I kind of forgot.
Well, it's kind of funny. Like, speaking of old people and catching up, I went to like the movie theaters because I just been working on a bunch of animation for a while, and then all of a sudden I had like a couple free time. I'm like, oh, I got a couple hours to kill this day, and then I got a couple hours to kill this next day. So I'm like, I'm gonna go to the theater and catch up on shit. And I went and saw both two movies. I saw the new Jack Reacher and I saw The Accountant. Did you guys see any of those ones yet?
Neither of them, no.
No, I continue.
Well,
I already,
this is why I say
know
that it reminds me of like Neccos and old people, because one, I saw it during the middle of the day, and all there was like, you know, the Sea of Grey showed up to come watch their, you know, movies, which really when you do think about it, like when you're going to watch something like Jack Reacher, I go, oh yeah, it's Tom Cruise kicking ass, but it's like, well, it's a senior citizen practically kicking ass. It's really what you're here. You don't think of it like that, but that's really what it is when you break it down. And it's like, oh, don't bother me none. And like, I didn't actually see the first Jack Reacher. It was one of those movies I had like, I should see this. And then it kind of came out and went. I was like, probably something else might have came out the same day. That's mostly always my reason for missing movies. And then from that point on, I just never got around to seeing it. And I tried to watch.
It's really good.
Like, yeah, that's what I heard. I heard it was really good. I'm like, well, it's got fucking Tom Cruise in it. He's never led me astray. So lo and behold, I kind of went by. I'm like, fuck, I should see Jack Reacher 1. And then like I couldn't find it anywhere. It wasn't like streaming on anything or whatnot. It's like, well, I don't want to wait for it to come in on Amazon. Fuck it. I'll just go see Jack Reacher 2. You know, I mean, I'll be able to probably figure it out. And it's like, in the beginning, it's like, Tom Cruise, ex-military. He goes around, beats people up. He's a hobo. Oh, okay, I got that. Good to know. Thank you. I will kid up now. So that...
Ex-Scientologist.
That movie was pretty darn good. I mean, like, it had good action in it, good story, good twist. And, you know, you said you saw the first one, so... It's probably similar like that. Nothing to complain about. Maybe at the end of the day, it wasn't the most totally, like, original thing. It was, like, good movie, but it didn't feel like it was anything brand new. Like, oh, I've never fucking seen that before. But it was good for what it did, you know? I don't know if is that how the first one kind of felt, too. Like, it was a good movie, but didn't feel like it was breaking any new ground.
Well, the first movie, I really thought that the action sequences were really well shot. And just, I like the color palette, too. And, I don't know, it was just really unique. And it was interesting that, like, Chris McQuarrie actually directed the first Jack Reacher, and then he actually got Mission Impossible 5, was whatever Rogue Nation was. I think 5 is Rogue Nation. But that actually got him the job to direct Rogue Nation. So
that's pretty sweet. Well, that's mostly how Tom Cruise is. He kind of passes that stuff around. But no, the second one, like, I haven't seen the first one yet, but no, I was actually still pretty impressed. Like, I mean, action was good, story was good, had a good twist in it where you think it's going to go somewhere and then it kind of changes somewhere else. You know, I mean, who knows how book people might complain to it. You know how I always feel like book people are sometimes like unrealistic when it comes to movies. Like, they almost remind me of like children who don't understand how things get made. Because, you know, you always get those book people like, it's not the same as the book. You know what I mean? And it's like, yes, because the book is an 800-page book and the movie's a 2-hour movie. Since it's an 800-page book, to get everything in you want to, that movie would have to be 8 hours long. Now, that movie cost $200 million to make. Do you have another fucking, like, $600+ million to make the rest of it? Well, no, they could have just... Like, no, they can't. It's just, like, I don't know what it is. It's like, sometimes, when you just hear people complain to me, like, I understand now if they do, like, a really shoddy job of, like, one where it's like, oh, fuck, they just literally took that idea. Like, somebody read the back of the book and said, yeah, I think I know what this is about, chucked it over their shoulder and went with it. But continue that again.
2 words, 1 letter. World War Z.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Well, that's literally taking a look at the back cover and going, yeah, I think I know what this is about, chuck it over your shoulder.
No, here's the thing about that. That's like, I get where you're coming from, and I don't expect them to make, like, a 8-hour anthology where they stop and explain how, like, how the world economics changed this, or how production in food, like, whether it be food or making weapons, changed once zombies came in, and how political, like, how like the political landscape changed also. I'm not expecting all that. I'd expect the zombies to still kind of resemble how they do in the book. I'd also expect maybe a couple of stories. I'd also, oh, okay, yeah, they got the big wall in Israel. They got that part.
Oh, that was literally the guy flipped open, okay, big wall, zombie, like literally, like, okay, whoever the director was, just whatever. He's just flipping through, just like, okay, I think I got how this goes.
And then, like, they also, at one point, because in the book, they commonly refer to the zombie as, we got Zed. They say Zed once, maybe twice in that movie. And it's not like, here's the thing. People say, look, it's different. Just appreciate it for what it is. It's like, it's not a god-awful movie.
No, because I kind of, strange enough, I actually enjoyed it because I didn't think much of it going into it. So I watched him like, oh, this is fun for what it is. If you like your popcorn 28 Days Later, like, movie, not saying 28 Days Later is like that, but I mean, like, that's what it's kind of like. It's like the popcorn version of that. Then, yeah, it's fine for what it is, but knowing where it comes from, that it comes from the most serious zombie story, creator of all time, then it seems kind of odd.
I know that he said, oh, just give it a chance. I watched it. And it's not even kind of, I mean, look, not to sound like the bitter, I feel like I'm the bitter fan today when we talk about anything, but it's like, it's kind of like, fuck, this is not going to make you look good at all, but it's kind of like, calling the new Star Wars Battlefront when you got the one from you're just using the name to sell it because people remember that name and they like the thing.
Yeah. Well, and now that's a kind of version of like where I say, okay, that's more like a shoddy job of like doing the adaptation. I'm more talking about like the kind of movies where people like Harry Potter ones are a perfect example.
Harry Potter. Or something
they always
like that,
bitch
right?
about that, and it's like, well, shit. Like the first couple, like the reason why those ones are pretty accurate because they were only like 300 and something page books, so. By that standard, you just got to cut an hour or so out of it, and next thing you know, you can get a full-on movie. But once the books became fucking 800 pages, well, you can't fit that into a 2.5 hour long film. It's like, do you not understand like the logistics of how this works? And sometimes that's kind of how it is. But when it does become kind of like when they do kind of a shitty adaptation, you could say like World War Z, because that adaptation-wise, crappy. If that movie was just called like Brad Pitt fights zombies, you probably would think of it much differently, I bet.
Yeah, I mean, even then, it's still like I've seen like he's a cool character, but even then, I've seen like better like zombie movies by that point. It's not a bad movie.
No, it's not. It's not a bad movie.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's taking probably one of the coolest zombie stories I've ever read and one of the smartest zombie stories I've ever read and made it like made
it as generic as possible.
Exactly like everything else.
Yeah, so it is kind of goofy, but
you blinked out for a minute. I'm not sure what happened. That wasn't another awkward pause. Thing froze for a minute, so
okay.
I'm not sure what you said there. But no, there was what was I gonna say regarding was it regarding Brad Pitt or was it regarding
Jack Reacher
World War Z? Jack Reacher. Oh, you're gonna talk about The Accountant though, right? How was that
now,
one?
The Accountant, on the other hand, like I saw,
because me and Marley got into a debate about The Accountant. I was like, I don't know, I think it might be good, and Marley's like, what'd you say, Marley?
What, you just got a problem with retards?
No, go. Spencer, go ahead.
No, I kid you not. Well, I wanted to see it anyways. Like when it kind of came out, I was like, oh fuck, I gotta go see this. And then somehow, some way, if I miss a movie day one, it's weird. Like the chance that I will go see it like severely drops. It's so strange. I don't know what it is. You miss that first showing, and then all of a sudden, it's kind of like, I'll get around to it. I don't know. It doesn't matter how much I mean, unless it's something like a new Jurassic Park or something that you're like, I have to see it, even if I have to crawl out of this hospital bed like Snake. I will make it to Jurassic Park. Just including like the handful of movies like that. There's just some that you just pass up day one, you miss it. But lo and behold, I was able to go see it. Now, The Accountant, on the other hand, that's the action movie where it's like, oh, fuck, this is all brand new stuff. Like, I've never seen something like this before. This movie's got great action in it. It's kind of subtle. It's almost like sort of like faster. Like, when action happens, it's totally badass, but it's not there continuously. It's not like fucking Transformers where all of a sudden it's just like, the accountant, he's fighting for an hour and a half to survive. But...
No, I get you.
It's
like
funny.
The chicken fight from Family Guy.
It's got a great story in it. Great twists and turns. Like, everything about that movie was so good. And then even the next day, it was one of those movies, and the more I thought about it, I liked it even more. I mean, I walked out of that movie going, man, this is a fucking awesome movie. afterwards, I'm like, fuck, I almost want to go see it again. I liked it that much.
Well, it's playing 2 blocks away from me. So
If you guys,
Marley,
if you
what are you
guys
doing
get
later?
bored, I recommend seeing it. That movie is fucking awesome. And it's just kind of cool just to have this guy who's got Asperger's syndrome and whatnot. He's just out there, like, he's doing this accounting stuff, but he's kind of, like, hooked in with, like, the mob, and he's hooked in with all these other things. And it kind of unfolds his story as it goes on. And you see that he is just this really smart guy, and he's always trying to do the right thing, but he's almost working his way through other people to kind of get there, because he knows that he's almost smarter than everybody else, but he's always got to finish his job. Then you got J.K. Simmons, who's kind of like the police investigator, like, tracking him down, trying to figure out who this accountant guy is. You got, what's his name from Third Rock from the Sun?
So Jim Gordon's chasing down Batman in this
Pretty
movie.
much. That's what it is. And then you got fucking, what's his name from Third Rock from the Sun? John Lithgow. John Lithgow's kind of like this robotics engineer guy who's, in a sense, sort of, I guess you could say, like, one of the main bad guys in the end. It's actually kind of funny how he finally gets taken out, but I won't spoil that. And then there's another guy who's pretty much, it's one of the guys from Friends. I can't remember which one. The guy who's maybe not nearly as good looking as the other guy. The guy looks more Italian than the other one.
Ross?
Maybe.
I know
David
that's
Schwimmer?
the character's name.
David Schwimmer.
Yeah, I think that's the one. And he does a fantastic job too. He's sort of like, I guess you could say, the villain too. And then there's a twist of him. But yeah, that whole movie, totally badass. I knew I was gonna like that movie. I didn't realize how much I was gonna like that movie.
Is this actually, because if it's an Affleck directed
No,
movie,
it's not
I'm
Affleck
there.
directed.
Okay, because anything he directs, I'm there to see it. Because every one of his movies he's made so far is like just about a perfect movie to me. And
Did you see the new trailer for his new movie though?
for the new one, the 1920s one?
Yeah, that one.
I haven't seen it. Did he direct that?
Yeah, he wrote and directed that one. I saw that trailer twice because they played it with both Jack Reacher and.
Oh, I'm gonna have to. I haven't checked that out. No, I'm gonna totally.
Well, if you go
that.
see The Accountant, hopefully they'll play that one because
He for a minute
so
was
fucking awesome.
For a minute he was gonna do Dark Tower. Now the thing about like Affleck is, as a director, he's really awesome. I mean, you know, I like him as an actor. He's a good actor. I mean, he's the best Batman. Killing aside, he plays Batman better than anybody else.
Exactly.
It has live action wise, at least. Now, but him also starring and directing Batman, I think that he's probably gonna be the perfect one for that.
No, I think so too. It's just like, you know, Ben Affleck's just one of those guys. Like, I know that I think it's one of those ones like people are finally kind of coming back on board. I know that everybody had like this fear of like early 2000s Ben Affleck for some god awful reason. Who knows? But I always liked Ben Affleck since the 90s, so he's never bothered me. And even when they counted, he even has Batman moments too. He opens his fucking drawer and he's got all like the first editions of like Action Comics and Detective Comics and Spider-Man and all that stuff because he has all these like weird collectible things that he just has.
See, that's the problem that I have with like The Accountant. Like from what I hear from people saying that it's basically Ben Affleck just playing another Batman character.
I do
and
not
I'm
think
like,
so.
he's
at
already
all.
Batman. Why does he have to be? Why does he have to have another movie where he's Batman? Well, sort of Batman.
I actually did not think of that as Batman whatsoever. In fact, it doesn't even really feel like Ben Affleck. I mean, you know it's Ben Affleck, but he's playing that so different than what he would normally play.
He's just playing, you know, he's just like playing Batman, if only Batman killed more than what he already did, and Batman v Superman. No, I'd be down for that, though. I mean, the movie, I saw like a little bit of like some clips here and there, and it looked like a good movie, and the trailer looked interesting. It didn't like, you know, grab me or anything, but I am interested in seeing that one.
Mm-hmm.
But if he was directing it, I probably would have been there day one. But I'm still probably going to see this movie just because, you know, I usually trust your opinion pretty good. So, but yeah, like, I'll say that, regarding, I think one reason why people hated Affleck for so long is because it was a couple of things. I think he just looks like the pretty boy jock. He just has the perfect chin, good looking guy, and he was dating Jennifer Lopez, and that was in everybody's face for a while because they kept on bombarding like,
Oh yeah,
like Jennifer, whatever the fuck, you know, for people who paid attention to that, but it just bombarding your face, and then that was affecting his movie career because he was having trouble getting work at other spots. And then he started like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm not going to star in the movie. I'm going to do a weird little drama about a kidnapping called Gone Baby Gone.
Mm-hmm.
And then like, oh wow, he's a really good fucking director. And he says like, okay, now I'm going to do a movie where it's about like I'm going to star in it, but it's about, you know, bank robbers in Boston. Just like, ooh, he's starring in it. He's good as a director. Oh fuck, that was a really good movie. Then he wins an Oscar over Argo.
I thought his brother starred in that.
No, he's the.
Yeah.
His brother stars in Gone Baby Gone.
It's just Gone Baby.
Gone Baby Gone. No, it's Gone Baby Gone.
Is it?
I'm gonna.
I have the movie literally sitting over there. So
I think Gone Baby Gone is a Gnarls Barkley song.
I know this is like. I know.
Oh, I'm gonna Google this shit right now. We're gonna settle this right now. I am gonna
fact checking podcast.
Yeah, kills it. I don't give a shit. I'm gonna find this out right now because I gotta be right. I can't.
I'm dead positive that Gone Baby Gone is a Gnarls Barkley song,
and I'm dead positive I want to say it's called Gone Baby unless that's like the foreign title of it.
I want to say like that's what they call it in the UK for whatever reason.
Yeah, that's what. And you just have to pick up some.
It's kind of like how in Japan, like Fast and the Furious 7 is just called Sky Mission because they have like the parts where the fucking like cars are coming through the sky. Gone Baby Gone. That pops up. Let's see what pops up. Motherfucker. Yeah. Stupid autocorrect. Gone Baby. Fuck, not a double Y.
I could have checked this in 2 seconds if I just got up and walked over there.
IMDb 2007. Gone Baby Gone. We are going. It is loading. It's taking forever because I already got 5 windows already popped up on this computer. And I'm going to stop. I don't give a shit if I'm stopping the podcast. We are going. Oh, he has to take off his headphones for this to go use the restroom or whatever. By the time he gets back, he's going to fucking realize how wrong he is. Did he use the restroom or is he going across the room just to check?
I think he's just going to check.
He's checking. He's checking.
He's smiling.
It's Gone Girl. What?
It's Gone Girl.
No, it's not. That's the other one.
Is that the other one?
Oh, never mind. That's the Fincher movie.
Oh, never mind.
That's the Fincher movie.
Yeah, I got these all confused.
This is so riveting.
Yeah. I will kill the momentum and just ruin the mood for everybody. I don't give a fuck. I gotta. God, this thing won't fucking load. Yeah. And rolling down, there is a movie called Gone Baby Gone, came out in 2007, crime mystery drama. Fuck you! Yeah, I'm right. It's called Gone Baby Gone.
Huh. Never mind. Then I must.
Got it right here, bitch.
You feel good about yourself?
I feel awesome.
But I'm not kidding that there's a Gnarls Barkley song called.
Yeah, Casey Affleck was in that.
So you still
Casey Affleck.
So you still get your Affleck.
Still get your Affleck, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe not the one you wanted. Like, oh, we got the. Okay, well, no, it's there. You know, it's kind of like I could really go for like cherry. I can really go for a cherry Coke. Oh, you got just cherry. Oh, that's fine. I'll take the diet.
You got vanilla Coke. Oh, okay. I like that in the '90s, but.
Vanilla Coke. No, yeah, no. We burnt off there.
I could be really, really mean and just say Casey Affleck is Coke Zero, but.
Oh. That's hurtful. He did a good job in like whatchamacallit, and he's a good actor. He's just like, you know,
out of the furnace.
Out of the furnace, yeah. Anyway, in honor, we're gonna probably wrap this up pretty soon, but in honor of Halloween, thought we might do some creepy shit for a second. Focusing primarily, we were talking about, I don't think we're going to do as much of it as we were originally planning, but we were talking about just I was leading on California in general, but it just led me right to Sonora, because even though I'm living in San Francisco, I still think of this as primarily a Tuolumne County-based podcast. So I was looking around, and there's basically this thing called, this website called hauntedplaces.com, and it's basically almost kind of a Yelp for like haunted houses or whatever, and it's just kind of like almost to the effect of like, how haunted do you think this place was? And then reviews, and just like, well, it was only like spewing blood out of the mirror once, so not that haunted, whatever, you know. But I went to a couple of places in Sonora, and I'm going to go for one that's 50-50, then we're going to go to 60-40. So the place that's 50-50 in Sonora is called the Gun House Hotel.
Oh, yeah, right there on Washington Street.
Yeah, right on Washington Street. This 1850s inn was formerly the county hospital and boarding house and is rumored to be the most haunted place in town to stay. Room 011, guests staying the night have awoken to find an unseen entity rearranging the furniture in the room. Like, this place is too dirty.
Jesus Christ, look at these heathens living here now. What the fuck is this? Just takes like an iPad, chucks it out the window.
Yeah.
I just imagined like Escuela just like straightening up the room, just
from
like
Family Guy.
No lemon fresh.
No lemon pledge. No. And also have sound familiar of rattling and coins, just like okay, whatever that is.
You
oh no,
you get the sound of like a casino.
Yeah, in room 010, a man reportedly turfed out by a bed and a violent entity and had no intention of letting him stay the night. Like, what the fuck you doing in my bed?
This is my jerk off chamber, damn it.
That's all ghosts are. They just want people like, God, I just really want them to get the fuck out of here so I can just jerk
Yeah,
off. I just
it's
really
awkward when you fucking humans are there looking at us.
In the other room, a ghost has been known to wait. Let's see. However, in other rooms, a ghost has been known to hop into beds with couples while have reportedly felt the sensation of being watched.
See, I don't see that creepy. It's just the ghost just wanting to get some action. It's like, hey, can we do?
Just like, I don't know, honey. Just like, just go, just move, just go with it. You know, it's easier if someone's watching us. Just go with it. What? That's weird. This is why I requested room 12. Come on, don't take this.
Yeah, room 12 is the fucking shit.
However, the most haunted is room 12, where guests have opened their door to a terrifying apparition and seen a man in an old-fashioned suit standing at the end of their four poster, whatever that is. However,
Their Thor poster?
their four poster. It just says of their four poster.
Oh, okay. Not Thor.
Yeah.
So
Thor.
probably just bad grammar.
Yeah, if I had to guess, or misspelling. However, if you thought the hauntings were confined to just guest suites, think that again.
Wait, that was it? Like, there was nothing. They said the most scariest part, like, was just some old man standing there looking at you.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. I thought it would be like, oh, and he was standing there and he was chopping people's heads off, going, "You're next. You're next." Like, no, it's just some old man in a nice suit standing there.
You think that, but yeah, just
Probably the owner of the place who just got lost.
where am I? Oh, Grandpa Wilheimer, right over this. Like, "Ah!"
Get back. Oh, but the nice people, I was going to chop their head. Yes, you were.
Okay, the apparition of a maternity lady has materialized in the fireplace of the parlor room on several occasions, while a shadow of an apparition has been known to appear on the stairs. This is a 50 out of 50. I'm not seeing any reviews. Now, there's one. Now, this one sounds scary. It sounds legit, but almost the comments almost kill it for it. It's this one is that was the Gunhouse Hotel. This one, the Tuolumne General Hospital.
Mm-hmm.
Now this one is 60,
this one
40.
is haunted.
This one's 60, but this one's 60-40. So you think it's the
That's where I was born at.
really?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Well, we'll see where this goes. Now this is very short, but I'm just gonna wrap this up quickly for this one. Now abandoned, miners from the Gold Rush Hospital are apparently here. They are said to throw things around, talk, and sometimes appear to visitors. And now I'm going to go down. We're going to go down to like 2 comments. I'm not going to say this person's name. My mother said that as a child she would play in the basement. She said that one time she got lost. A man in a plaid shirt helped her get back. When they told the staff, they said no one in the hospital wears a plaid shirt. Then just like literally a minute later, it was her brother. Sorry.
It's fucking stupid.
It's like a fucking guy saved her. Like, oh, I lost her. Is it a plaid shirt? Oh, fuck. That was her brother. Oh.
Oh, well, good thing. What, is she like retired or something?
She says, like, what? That's like the lamest Scooby-Doo thing. Like, a man in a plaid shirt. Wait a minute, rip it off. Oh, it's a white snake shirt. It was her brother the whole time.
Yeah, that's kind of goofy. I don't know. It's one of those ones like, as a kid, I always wanted to see a ghost sighting or anything like that. And then I just never have seen anything since. And I'm not saying that I'm not opposed to like going like you're skeptical, going like they're not real, but it's just one of those ones like, until I see one, I don't believe it. Almost that kind of thing.
It's all in your mind. Like if you are.
That's what I think. I still think no matter what, it's all fucking mental things.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know. As a kid, I think it sounds cool, but when you get kind of older, you just kind of get realistic. You're like, okay.
It's just not to call kids stupid. I won't use that word,
but too much fucking Mountain Dew and Necco candies together.
They're like, I don't know, and I don't want to say that like their imagination is like stronger as a kid, but it's just like a kid isn't really thinking all that much. like about like
you can believe more in the impossible when you're younger. You believe in a dude coming down the chimney to give you free shit. So you could probably
it seems logical.
You could probably believe that Grandma's going to be in the next room, like still rocking in a rocking chair.
Yeah,
but it's really just like the air conditioner putting it.
When in reality, it's really just like the wind and like
rocking that chair back, like Evil Dead. Like when they get to like the swinging chair, just stops as soon as they get to the fucking like porch.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, there was like what was it? There was that thing we've talked about before on the podcast, but there's that thing you could almost have that fear of like how do I put this exactly? Something to the effect of it being like your cousin could tell you there's a raptor that lives in the house. There is? Yeah, there's a raptor. You don't go down the halls, otherwise there's a fucking raptor in the house. So, and you could believe, like, I don't want to go to Grandma's house. Why is that? There's a raptor, you know? And you could believe that somehow, like...
That's when your dad just looks at your mom and just goes, what the fuck did you tell him? Why is it me, honey? Yeah, right, it wasn't fucking you. You brought the goddamn raptor back to him. I knew we should have taken him to see Jurassic Park.
Right.
This all over again. No, but it's one of those things where it's like I feel that when you're a kid, you can believe something like, oh, well, everybody else somehow in the house survives with that. Not a problem for them. But when I come visit, oh boy, I better look out. It's just one of those. It's like that's when you're a really little kid. Like I remember, like there's some shit like that. Like my older cousin would fuck with me. He had a mask of this monster, and he said like, oh yeah, there's a monster lives in the house. And I didn't fucking put it together that when I was by myself. And he was gone, a fucking monster in a mask peek around the corner and run out the room. Just like, oh, fuck, he's telling the truth. And then like, oh, shit, later in the line, like, oh, this is where I have trust issues.
See, that's why I hate those ghost story, like, television shows. Just because the people that they, like, bring on the show, it's like, oh, yeah, we're going to, like, the Gunhouse Motel or something like that in Sonora, California. And these people said that they saw a ghost. And the people that they interview are always like the most dumb, like city folk, like people that have like they've never been in the country, and they're like,
or you just get the most like hillbilly people like, oh my god, I saw him last night. I was about 3 cases in a beer, and he appeared out of nowhere. You're like, oh Jesus Christ, nice. I know why he appeared out of nowhere. It was probably the fucking vending machine when you were trying to look for more beer. And it's like, it's sort of, whenever you hear this, it's kind of the same time when people are like, oh, I talked to Jesus. And you're like, how many beers did you have?
How much moonshine did you have?
32, I think. It was getting to the point where, I'll get a little dehydrated. Well, no fucking shit. One of these days it would just be fun. I've always thought this would be a kind of a fun trip, is just to go like on like a, like a week-long one where you stay in a different haunted place consecutively for like 7 nights or so, and just to see if you can get anything whatsoever, or if you're just gonna be sitting there fucking watching Transformers 3 late at night on their cable TV.
Well, it's like I
fucking stupid house, stupid 1800s.
Don't have fucking Wi-Fi. No, but
because it's always this 1800s house. It's never like, and last year in 1997, when Aunt May happened to stab Bob in the eye, now the house is haunted. No, it's always like, in 1864, a gold panner was rustling up some cattle in his hotel room when amidst a meteorite came down and struck next door. He ran outside. Wait a second, why is there cattle in his room?
Don't question it. You're ruining the store. Just look.
Sorry. He goes out to check the meteorite, and an alien pops out with gold in his hand and gives it to him. So he takes the gold inside his hotel room and shoves it up the cow's ass. Suddenly it explodes, and everybody dies. It's like, whoa, wait. Are we just bypassing the part where he shoved the random alien gold up the cow's ass? Yeah, no.
This would be a safe place to hide
it. Yeah. Ever since then, customers that stay at, room 316, now I have this problem where, like, in the middle of the night, they are covered in mysterious alien goo.
They get the sun like pain in their ass. Like, that's the miner trying to jam his gold up your ass.
It was funny. I remember like when me and Cisco lived in San Francisco, like our apartment number that we had, there was like this video game that came out on DS at the time, and it was called like, I can't remember what our room was, but it was like Dark Hotel 216. It was like, oh fuck, there's this murder mystery game like based on our room.
You turn on the game, that's us!
It's like, that's me right there in the DS. It's like, yes, it
It
is.
turns into a creepy pasta story.
In fact, that's the only copy of the game you go look it online. It's like, there is no such thing as this game. There was only that one that you found at the random ass fucking EB store, game store.
But have you read any of those, like, I mean, just out of curiosity, have you ever read any of those, like, creepy pasta stories about someone who just, like, I turned on this haunted game cartridge and then Donkey Kong had blood spewing out of his eyes, or whatever, that kind of bullshit. You can tell it was written by a demented 14-year-old.
I got a creepy one. This actually is true. Is that one time I was playing GoldenEye on N64, and it was just like, I think I was on the second level on like the faculty or whatever, or facility, not the faculty, the facility, and I was running through, just doing normal, like blah, 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 shoot, 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 kill, 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 go, 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 and all of a sudden the game just starts wonking out. And these fucking Russian guys their arms start flailing at me, and they start walking up the stairs. It's like, what the fuck is going on? And they're like walking up, just like glitching out as can be. And then next thing you know, one starts fucking like flying at me and starts bouncing up, like almost like Evil Dead like. And then it just comes right into the screen and like freezes, like 64-bit Russian guy's face right in the screen, frozen. I was like, what the fuck? And this is the time period it's like, if I would have had that fucking save somehow, some way, like, if your PS4 was recording or something like that, that would have been such an amazing glitch. Never seen it ever since.
If that was a creepypasta story, you'd then talk about how you unplugged the controller, but then it was still on. It says they are coming for you.
I took the cartridge out and it still stayed there.
Yeah, you pretty much, yeah. But no. But yeah, that's so... I guess you'd call that our Halloween episode.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Transformers.
Just throw it at the end. Just get it out of the way.
Transformers, Necco candy, and Halloween stories.
So it's like, yeah, ghost stories. What a load of crap.
You believe that bullshit?
Yeah. They'll tell you anything to sell fucking TV shows this day and age. But no, I don't know. That's my only thing. It's one of these days, if you just went to a bunch of hotels just to kind of prove a point. Well, once, ever since I was like 5 years old, I always thought that'd be kind of cool. Most people were like, no, I don't want to go to scary places. Like, why? What's going to be scary about it? I mean,
I feel like the second...
Fucking Goofy walking down the hall in the middle of the night at the Disney hotel would be probably just as scary as anything we're going to find at this hotel. If it's fucking dark out, or like, just say like the power goes out in the Disney hotel and there's just like a little bit of light coming through the window and fucking Goofy's just walking down the fucking hallway.
Just bouncing, swinging his arms.
Turns and looks at you like, and then keeps going. And then slowly his head peers out from the side and looks at you again and pulls back in.
That's like the fucking Shining. You see, you see like a bedroom. You see like someone's laying down like on the couch. Goofy's head in someone's lap. They turn and look at you. It's Mickey looking back.
Some kids just yell like, "Oh no, the furries are coming to get me!"
You could scare the living daylights out of a 6-year-old kid at Disneyland by turning the lights down and fucking just having all their so-called favorite characters just doing really creepy shit.
Just doing like interpretive dancing with just like, like weird like disco music.
Just have Mickey fucking rolling, like doing somersaults in the hallway. just like all this stuff that like, it doesn't actually sound that creepy, but if you're just a kid watching this, like, why is he doing that? And just have like maybe Donald come behind and go, "You can't fucking stop!" Or I can't do a Donald voice, but you know what I mean? Just all these just creepy
that's Daffy.
Oh, that's more Daffy, you're right. Donald's more like yeah, I can't do that, whatever.
I can't do it either. I'm not gonna. It's gonna kill my voice.
I'm not even gonna attempt it now because the Daffy one is already a bit off, so the Donald one's gonna be worse. But that'd be pretty funny right there.
Fucking walk in like people in the Mickey outfits, like a Mickey and Minnie outfit, just dry humping. Just like, what the fuck? Just like really
Slowly.
traumatize a child.
While painting like pentagrams on the wall.
Or it's like
you just get the Mickey from like Fantasia running around just painting pentagrams and like demonic signs like on the hotel walls.
Or it's just like
or the conspiracy
the same
strings just going across the room, like connecting like different murders to different murders around Disneyland. I'm like,
you get some dude that's just
Toontown.
You get someone like in like say like a fucking like Donald like outfit, just like you're sleeping, he just walks by your room when it's all dark, adjusts something in the room, turns, looks at you, fucking walks out.
And then you just have like the chipmunks like peer their heads up from outside the window, like cracking nuts outside.
Then Walt Disney just walks up and just like, what?
His frozen head like in their arm.
Go with like what?
You got a weird looking alien creature with like tentacles.
Yeah. What, he's like one of the things from the Simpsons.
Yeah, that's pretty much what he is. Well, yeah, there's some fun stuff. That's probably a good place to all wrap it up at. If not, we'll just go on forever, and you know how that can go.
Yeah.
Till then, oh yeah, I also have I have a new short little Spunkholes Halloween cartoon that I threw up for a couple competition thingy-majiggies, where it's Spunkholes and the Creepy Mime, which I just called it Walabie and the Creepy Mime just to keep it in context of our selling, because clearly Spunkholes is not a very friendly selling name.
No, you see at least Walabie in the background, maybe?
Nope. I thought that'd make it funny in a sense, just like, oh, he's actually not in it whatsoever. I was gonna have him in there originally, but I'm like, there's no reason to have him actually in there. The joke works without him.
Mm-hmm.
But you can check that out. Till then, go to oldmanorange.com for more podcasts, cartoons, music, and more. I'm Spencer Scott Holmes.
I'm Ryan Dunigan.
I'm Marley Silverbrand.
We'll see you some other time.
Later, folks.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to the Old Man Orange podcast. Check out our website at oldmanorange.com for even more podcasts, cartoons, videos, music, and more. Send us an email at oldmanorangepodcast@yahoo.com. Be sure to subscribe, share, rate, and review us on iTunes, Podomatic, or any of the other fine sites we might be located on. And if you want to help out even more, click on the Amazon or GameStop links on our webpage before you make any purchases there. Won't cost you a penny, but it sends us a little something our way. Thanks for listening, and tune in next week to Old Man Orange.